Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It's Marvin speaking. We're just going to go through the live, which has been edited just to make it shorter. So I'm going to do this in parts for those who are still looking for the video and want to listen to it. It just makes it a little bit more interesting, actually, in parts and stuff. And like I said, thank you for those people who's actually been really patient with myself and Ali. So we'll get straight into it.
I've got is a picture of a black sports car, which I would never be able to get into, to be honest. Be too low for me.
I once dealt in sports cars, but not anymore. It got too expensive for me. I've got a beaten down Beetle now.
Have you? Oh, I love the Beatles. They're a good old car.
I wish. No. Right. Okay. So we're going to start. So, Ali, I'm just going to get in to the Jay was supposed to be going to the BLD coffee takeover on the Magnua President Road, and then also pre-booked to go on the fireboat party going from Peru to Cologne, stopping at Los Gitanes at. Just want to confirm the BLD coffee takeover. I'm still waiting for some more information from Ali and Chris, whether basically that place was actually open at the time, even though it was crossed off the NRG, sort of basically cancelled for logistic reasons. I'm just wondering whether now that it was actually still open, but I will cross-reference that and do a video just on that, people, okay? It's 3 p.m.
That's correct.
Yeah, and do you want to confirm where it was going from there?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
It was on the Sunday, and he was booked to go on the Firebird catamaran from Puerto Colón.
Yep.
Which is just by a DJ there, and they have to walk along the dock to get on to the boat, and that was going out at 2 o'clock until 5 o'clock. And if you remember previously, those that of you have been from the beginning, there was a message that came through that said taxi for Jay Slater. I don't know whether any of you remember that, but
I do remember that.
And the taxi was to go on to the boat, to get to the boat takeoff in Puerto Colón. And the boat left at 2. It was from 2 till 5, the boat party, on the Firebird, but there was also another boat alongside or near it.
Okay. Did we get a name? Did we get a name, Ali, of the other boat?
Well, out of a lot of deductions, I think it was the Maruba.
Just want to make a point that obviously, I think it was Tails who actually said that obviously, you know, they're not going to have a party on such a small boat. You're correct. I think people understood what Ali was actually saying. What she's saying is that this boat was technically in the same water or around the party boat while it was basically sailing technically. Wow. Yeah.
We have been told it was the Maruba, and I have checked the dates that it was around.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether Jay got on the fire.
So, if anyone's got any questions about that, do give Ali an email at the end of the day, and obviously she can actually go through that with you. So, obviously, again, we're all on the same page.
Bird or the Maruba, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the Firebird was going to Los Gigantes.
Yeah.
And then the second stop.
The Mascawen, hardly anyone knew about that because that wasn't listed at all.
No,
I noticed that. I did go through that. I actually noticed that. But the weird thing about it, I said to myself, there could have been, if you're organising a boat trip like that, there has to be a bit more of a write-up, which I found quite odd. And we obviously talked about it earlier on this afternoon.
Yeah, and the boat party, I've seen the film. The film is still online, actually. Very briefly, I think it's on TikTok. I don't do TikTok, as you know, but I use that sometimes to do research. And Marianne, you can go on the TikTok because you're pretty good at that. But you will see who was on that day, and it was Hannah Lang of Black Traffic.
Yeah, she was one of the DJs.
One of the DJs, yeah. And also there was another couple of guys from Black Traffic on there. I believe, and I can't confirm this, but I believe one was called Azure, A-Z-Y-R. Maybe somebody can correct me on the pronunciation there. And another guy.
Okay.
So that'll give you an idea of actually who was on that boat that went and ended up at Masca Beach. I believe it was the beach, but I've never been to Masca, so I can't really say, but it was probably the Juan Lopez Beach, because that is where his phone was found as well.
Yeah, that's quite alarming. Do you know what I mean? Because like I said, obviously his phone found actually on the beach there. Do you know what I mean? So to me, that would 100% make sense. And people, if you're unsure about anything, just send what Ali is actually saying. Just send us a message, and I can relay that to her so she can come up with the answers.
It's all very sad, really. We wish he was still alive. I know that there's been talk of that, but I honestly don't think he's alive. I still think he is deceased, and I still think that the family have got what is remains of his body buried now in back in Lancashire at home. So rest in peace, Jay. We have an idea of what has happened to him. Some more information came out this afternoon. I haven't posted anything to you on it yet, but I've got it. It's quite sad, the whole thing. It's all about money and properties and money laundering and drugs, really. I mean,
maybe obviously we can draft something up and look at that another time.
Yeah. I'm not going to say tonight, but something else alarming came through, and I have checked it out, but not fully because I wasn't too good today. So I mean, I will put that to one side. I can't.
I think someone said it may have been a full moon on Friday, and so many, like I said, little things were going wrong. You never know what's actually round the corner. And Ali did have a really terrible fall. And like I said, you know, she easily could have said, look, Marv, can we do it another time? But so many people were eagerly waiting. You know, I defend who's got serious health problems at the moment, but is stable now on Friday. So our heads were all over the place then. But like I said, we are back, and we're back stronger to get justice for Jay.
Say anything about it until I've absolutely looked at it.
The other thing as well, Ali, I know some people do know about this, was the Papagayo closing between 10 and 11 due to somebody going down to the ground being extremely ill.
That's correct. And the manager closed the whole place up and turfed everybody out. That is why I think Duncan nearly hit it on the head today when he said
he did.
That they were asked to leave, or some were asked to leave. And it was a comment by Brad or Brandon about leaving early. But it wasn't just them that had to leave early. It was a lot of them that had to leave early because they shut the doors.
And this was Saturday the 15th of the 6th, 2024.
Yeah. yeah.
We think it.
I mean,
Yeah, we haven't got a Pacific time, but we do think it was
no,
between 10 and 11 p.m.
I can't give you the Pacific time, but interestingly enough, and I don't think anybody actually picked this one up, from the January till about, it was the Holy Week, and
Yeah, people, I've just got this was a message from Ali today. And what she says is just a small point to make. I'm so glad, though, that Mabadi, who also sent me good wishes yesterday, explained that Papagayo did close early on Saturday and explained it better than myself. So like I said, Ali is back now in the streamline, basically putting messages out there. So if anyone's got any messages out there, please just put them up, and she will answer them when she has time. Okay, thank you.
I believe that's April. I might be wrong, but it was March, April time.
Yeah.
Papagayo nightclub was completely closed, and it had an upgrade because they didn't have a license. Their security wasn't good enough, etc., etc., etc. And that is when the group, because it belongs to a group, as we know, invested another £1 million into it to get it all refurbished and to get the security and the wristbands, which are, as people have been listening, the wristbands have been a key to it all, because you can't get into any of the events at the NRG without your wristband being up to date with. It's like an electronic tag, if you like. It has all the details.
Ali, someone sent me some information that it had license problems at one stage.
Yes, it did. That is why it did have license problems. In fact, a lot of them have got license problems. I think the local authorities turn a blind eye a lot of the time because they're bringing in such a lot of money. I mean, the Papagayo nightclub itself turns over between 5 and 10 million a year.
Jesus.
Which for one single place is an enormous amount of money. So they didn't want to risk having to close again with another incident, did they?
100%. So we move on to the manager closed the club on the instructions of the police on Saturday the 15th of June 2024. And I think Mama D was on about this, and she made some great points on it, that it goes like higher up the ladder, where government are involved, like a blackout that nobody knows or nobody can say anything, which is completely unbelievable. So there seems to be cover up after cover up after cover up. Chris confirmed that.
Yeah, they've all confirmed it. So they were asked to leave early, but I don't know what time that was.
We think it's between 10 and 11, but we wasn't given a Pacific time, people.
No, we weren't. No. It goes on normally till about 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning normally. So, I mean, when Lucy said she was leaving early, she did leave early, but not as early as what she said she did, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so we're going to move on, Ali, that Jay was taken away by 2 foreign men in a Seat Leon white around the back of the Papagayos. And then the time people, this was the time people were asked to leave as well, or just after.
Yeah. We know that it travelled the Seat along to Adige, is it? How do you say it?
Is it?
Adige,
yeah.
Yeah, we know that it went along that road because by Papagayo is right at the end of Veronica's, more or less at the end.
Yeah.
And then the beach goes, you have to go over the bridge place where there's where the sea meets the estuary bit.
Okay.
And then you go straight along and pick up the main Adige road, and that is the way that the Leon Seat went.
Yeah.
Along that road. I think also they made a diversion up to El Tanque.
Right.
To the place up there and probably had a conflab or something. I don't know.
Is that where basically you did actually talk with the manager there, but he didn't want to talk, but the assistant did?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that is correct. And of course, that's Roman land, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there were 7 of them, so I reckon that there must have been a couple of cars at least.
At least 2 cars. At least 2 cars. Yeah. Because it was funny, because everyone was talking about something happened the night before, and I put a video up of obviously the eyewitness who said something happened the night before. But there was actually so much going on some months ago when that came up. It was hard to know what to believe.
Well, it was, because the film of everything, and I find it really astounding that none of the youngsters that were there had taken film of, because they'd all got their phones kind of up against them, their faces, taking pictures and filming all the DJs and that. And I was astounded that not one has come forward and said, look, I've got the film, you know? So, and the timeline of it all is so confusing. You don't know where you are half the time.
That's half the problem with this case. If we had a timeline, it would be easier to break down, to be honest with you. And we have to go through everything with a fine comb, because like I said, at least we'll know. Maybe we won't get the whole truth, but if we've got over 75% of what we think of human beings, what we think is the truth, it's you know, it's better than nothing. This is what I think. Yeah.
Because I think that's done deliberately to confuse us.
The other thing is that obviously that video of Cole's Place, I actually put it up. Cole's Place, sorry, the YouTuber who got a fight in place. Obviously, we don't know the exact date, but we do think it was Brandon. He told me to take it down at the end of the day, which I did at the end of the day. It just told me that we didn't talk after that, but he did try and message me to say, oh, I like your channel at the end of the day. But it came across to me that it was a little bit false. And obviously, a lot of these pictures and that video has been seriously edited.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when people say, what do you think of this and what do you think? I said, well, you can look at it and say, that's a black and white cow. But you just don't really know unless you're right in front of it physically, because everything can be Photoshop, you can have AI. I mean, there's so much you can do. So you can only say what you can see in front of you if you're there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree. So we're gonna move on, Ali, to the BLD coffee takeover. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. So that was part 1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it in segments over today and tomorrow. Please comment, and if you've got any questions for Ali, basically in the chat, she will answer them. And as well, obviously, I think in one of the next videos, I think we must 100% hear from Chris, rather than through a third party, because I think it will settle people down a lot more, knowing it's from you know, someone basically who was out there and have documented it since Jay went missing as well, and a professional reporter. So thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, people. See you again.